closer to Ryan had been planned for a very long time, as I explained to her. Okay, I'm still working on Heathens, but I have a world building question I want to work on for the next few videos. What if witches and warlocks were at war within our world as it is now? Would it be a secret war? Would we know they were at war? Would we get caught up in the conflict? Now, the idea with the witching world or these environments is that they always want to keep themselves secret. Anyone who's a witch, who's a warlock, they never want the identity revealed to us. So this gives scope for a very tense environment where they can never reveal who they are to us, because in my opinion, they are so afraid of us. They fear us, humans, more than we fear them, because we tend to want to get the power, use the power, and use it for evil, right? So for me, that's a premise within Heathens. The witches, the warlocks, the magical community are more terrified of humans than humans are of them. They fear us more, even though they have magic, because essentially they want to protect their magic and they want to protect their world from us, because we've done too much damage in their world. Okay, so how do you stop witches and warlocks and magical creatures? How do you stop the conflicts between them spilling over into our world? How long has the fighting between them been going on for? Is it violent? Do humans get caught up in it? Does it suddenly just burst out into public? Do humans get caught in the because it's obviously a magical fight. It's a fight involving magic, involving spells, involving cloaking. And what organization exists to control that magical world, to control the world of witches, warlocks, and magical creatures? And what organization oversees them as a whole? Because there's control, which is more in the form of policing and stopping crimes and investigating crimes within their community. And then there is the overseeing of it all. So like the court system, do they have some sort of system where they are judged? If they kill a witch, if they kill a warlock, the penalties are still very severe. So do they have a court system or some sort of system that investigates them and punishes them for their crimes, and punishes them for the type of crime committed, whether it's whether they kill one of their own, or whether in some cases their crimes move into human territory, which is very, very, which is a huge crime. Or if their crime is something so minor that it can be easily resolved within the court system, or maybe with a bit of punishment. So when you're world building a world within a world, all these rules exist. And this is exactly what I had to do for Heathens. Now, recognition is very important, because when you have witches and warlocks within our world, and magical creatures within our world, how do they identify each other? How do you know the difference between a witch and a warlock? Now, I made mine quite simple. I don't think they have to have any particular recognition or marking. They just sense each other. They sense the magic. The magic is the most important thing. It's sort of like their essence, and that comes first, right? And a witch and a warlock can always tell another witch or warlock just by sensing the magic, and they can tell if you're struggling with your magic, if you're new, if you just sort of started to come into the magic and your power, or if you're a very, very powerful witch or warlock. They can sense everything, and they can sense your aura, and they can tell by looking at you on sight as well. Now, obviously, like I said, when I wrote this series, I didn't bother with secret symbols or anything like that, or any particular identifiers. All I knew was that they saw each other and they instantly knew each other. So it was more of an aura thing as opposed to identifying someone. You just knew someone had magic within them, and once there was magic involved, whether they were witch or warlock, they were automatically part of the community. Now, what I want to cover today is obviously you have the other magical creatures who exist within our world. So the witches or warlocks, they come in human form. But what I was going to just talk about today and just show you was the magical creatures, because what I've done with the series is I've pulled from magical creatures in my culture and other cultures as well. And you have, different creatures like Mami Water, who's like a sort of in the West, she is a mermaid, but in my world, where I'm from, she's a water goddess. You have bush babies, you have Abiku, so you have all these different magical creatures who are very powerful. Some are deemed to be evil and some are deemed to be so these are different depictions of Mami Water. Now it's really interesting because obviously in my culture she's referred to as a water goddess, or water spirit, water goddess. She's more of a spirit, and we don't really use the term mermaid, and this is in Western Africa as well and across the diaspora, right? So she's very serpent-like as well. But actually in Western culture, she's actually depicted with a tail, and beautiful tail, and she appears beautiful. Whereas any elements to do with snakes are completely removed from her. But in reality, in my culture, this is what she looks like. So in the Heathens series, this is what she should look like. But obviously, the challenge was depicting her in the books. How would she appear? Would she appear in human form? What form do these other magical creatures appear in? Now, obviously, I've got different mythological creatures from across the world. And because they are going to be in our world, they can't appear in their usual form, so they have to have a human form that they appear in. That's as close as possible to what they look like, but the extra elements to them, whether they have horns or they have tails or they have a live serpent going around the neck like the Mami Water would, that can't be present. So as humans, we have to be able to see what the magical creatures want us to see. That is Wika. He is a Kishi and part of our unit. Eden's eyes widened as the reality of the commander's words hit him. I've heard of the Kishi, half human, half hyena, very smooth talking, until they have you alone, and then... So in this scenario, a Kishi is it's like a two-faced predator. They are very popular in Angolan mythology. It's a two-faced predator, and it's supposed to be very charming and handsome, so much charisma. And it has a human face and a hyena face. But when it has you alone, so it seduces you and it gets you into it lures unsuspecting women. It has a very hypnotic voice, and it's supposed to be able to lure unsuspecting women into unsuspecting areas, and sometimes it's supposed to be able to impregnate the women as well. And when they get pregnant or when they give birth, it's supposed to devour the baby as well. It's supposed to be so some people call it a two-faced hyena, some say two-faced demon, but I think hyena is a lot more popular. People don't use demons as much, but it is actually from Angolan mythology. So it's supposed to be very handsome, and the long tangled matted hair it has sort of covers over the hyena face, and then the hyena face is revealed when you're in trouble and it's about to devour you or kill you. Okay, we had one of those really heavy thunderstorms, and when the rain is so heavy and it's so loud, and we had some flooding, which was very, very scary. So it's a few hours later now and I'm still working on this. So obviously I've explained the whole concept of the witches, the warlocks, the magical creatures, how they appear to the humans, but what I also have to think about now is okay, so this is a bit of a change. I realised that the conflict, what the conflict is about, should be its own separate video entirely, because it's such a big topic and it's very wide scale, and I actually realised I would have to put it into 2 or even 3 videos. So I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, happy writing, happy inspiration. I hope inspiration finds you well. Goodbye.